Warning, this video may contain spoilers.
I love my family, but I just want to do my own thing.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Some Film Snobs. My name is Matt.
And I'm the ever schmuck.
And today, we're going to be talking about Michael.
Michael who?
Magic.
Alright, folks, we'll talk about that new film, Michael. You know, based on, I know, Michael Goddamn Jackson.
Michael Goddamn Jackson. That was his full legal name. I'm glad we mentioned that. So, first of all, I've been a fan of Michael Jackson for 19 years.
Damn. I'm sorry.
And I have not.
That's true. Anyway, so the movie Michael is about Michael Jackson. It's basically a film that covers his life mostly from 1978 until 1984. So basically it covers Michael Jackson's early solo career, from Off the Wall to Thriller. Basically the two albums that shaped who he was. Let's get into the things that I liked about the movie. So the first thing I liked about the film is both actors that play Michael Jackson. What did you think, Nick?
I think they did a pretty good job. Yeah, I think they did
Yes.
pretty well. Good job. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about both of them right now. We'll start with the young Michael, who is Giuliano Valdi.
Look, folks, let me just say this right now. I have no notes. I didn't write anything down because I'm a lazy idiot. Anyway, Matt, continue.
Okay, so I thought Giuliano was fantastic as the young Michael. The thing is that he was able to bring a lot of, put it this way, he was able to play Michael, the innocence of Michael. You know what I mean?
Yes. He knows how to act like a kid. Congrats. He did it.
He's able to play Kid Michael Jackson, and the thing is, I think it's his first film, actually.
Well, good for him.
So, like, it's a strong debut, man. Like, he sold that one scene where Joe whips the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I felt the pain.
Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, that was not an easy part to watch. I'll say that much.
They did a fantastic job making me want to, leave the theater for a second. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's kind of that nervous laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it made me easy to, want to go up there and beat the shit out of him, so, but, hey, that's a long story.
I just felt that, and also he was great with the performing scenes,
absolutely. He was energetic, yeah. He was just grooving and all that stuff. He was having fun.
He basically kind of got the essence of the young Michael Jackson before he became the king of pop. He had those early dance moves nailed, especially that James Brown shuffle that Michael would do a lot of times, and the spins too. It was great. And of course, we have to talk about the star of the film, Jafar Jackson, his nephew, who plays Michael from 1978 onward, and my god, man. This is also Jafar's acting debut, and it's a strong one.
Well, good for him. He did a pretty good job, with the soft-spoken thing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. He didn't just imitate Michael Jackson like an impersonator, he almost transformed into Michael Jackson.
Pretty much, yeah.
In fact, not almost. He did, like you said, basically. He transformed into Michael Jackson.
Did I say that?
His voice, his mannerisms, the way
yeah, in that case, yeah, I did mention the voice thing. That's right.
You did, yeah. Jafar's voice as Michael, it was so eerily similar. I remember that first teaser they released.
Q, can you lower the lights for me, please?
I actually thought, holy, did they dub Michael Jackson in for somehow? It was that close to me. And his voice changes throughout the film as Michael progresses, like in real life.
Maturity.
Mm-hmm, exactly. The thing about Jafar Jackson's performance is it's not just an impression where he's doing a voice and he's doing it, but it's like he is still acting. He is bringing a character to life.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see these little moments in his acting, the real emotion coming through. There's that one scene when he's coming home from his the rhinoplasty, the nose job.
Right.
And you can see that fear when Joe takes off his glasses, and you can see the anxiety in his eyes almost. It's just, he's living the moment, which is really tough when you don't live that moment, you know. And it has to be really eerie because you're playing your uncle opposite a man playing your grandfather. That has to be a real mind melt. You know what I mean? Just like, it has to be freaky.
Yeah.
And it might also be freaky that, like, you're looking to a guy who's playing your dad, but you're supposed to be, you know, your uncle. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not sure what will be more appropriate. Chris Angel's Mind Freak, or... Oh god, what's the other thing of it? Oh, Freaky Friday.
It's more like it's like a Chris Angel Mind Freak, because you're literally playing your uncle, and who has a brother named Jermaine, which is weird enough, but then it's even weirder because you also have a brother named Jermaine. And the thing also, I will say, partly with Michael Jackson and Jafar Jackson, is that the team were able to kind of believably make Michael, like, change throughout the film. Like, part of it is visual effects mixed with makeup, mixed with for the nose, because the nose, they're able to get the nose shape over the years pretty close, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're able to do that without it being a caricature, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it's a hard task to do, because you're recreating a very famous face. And there were times in the movie where it felt like we weren't watching an actor play Michael Jackson. It felt like we were watching Michael Jackson on screen.
Yeah, though some parts are a lot more believable than others.
There are probably some parts that are more convincing than others. But yeah, we'll get to those probably.
Yeah, especially towards the end of the film, which we'll get to later.
Oh, we will. We will get to that. Okay, so I want to talk about Coleman Domingo, who plays Joe Jackson, the dad.
Mm-hmm.
I hated him for all the right reasons. There was some sense of nuance with Joe Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a monster, but he was a human. He was an asshole still. You know, he was a...
Right. He was more manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a lot of that going in, but, like, seeing it is kind of different. I mean, like, the deal he does in the back with Don King for the Victory Tour.
Also, I recognize that the guy was supposed to represent Don King. I knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not tell? It's the hair.
The hair is a dead giveaway. I was so glad to see Michael kind of leave him by the wayside. That was the end of an arc for me. Because the arc of the film, it's basically Michael... The movie begins with Michael and his brothers rehearsing together, and Joe does this exercise where they're looking at the wall and trying to reach out and touch it.
Right.
And the thing I noticed immediately was the part where he says, you're no longer Jermaine, Jackie, Marlon, Tito, or Michael. You're the Jackson 5. He strips his sons of their individuality, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this film is basically... It's about Michael Jackson finding his own identity again, finding his independence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the whole film is about, at the end of the day. That's the whole story.
Yeah, exploring himself as an individual.
Finding who he is. You get the feeling that the reason he gets that nose job, it's all to do with the fact that Joe made fun of his nose when he was a kid.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, this is coming from an armchair psychologist who should get his degree taken away, because I can't say that's exactly why, but you can understand it when you realize that Michael, into adulthood, was terrified of his own father.
Right.
So even if the reason he got the nose job had nothing to do with Joe, he did fear him, and that's very sad.
Right. Essentially, when it comes to the nose job, it's more of the mental toll he's been taken from his father. He's expecting him absolute perfection, or he could get beaten again.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So at that point, he just wants perfection because it's been mentally ingrained into him for years of physical and mental abuse of the Jackson 5.
Mm-hmm, and just all of that.
Mm-hmm. He hates how he looked because of all the abuse he went through, like all the hellish torment, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Exactly, and so...
Yeah, just to fit into his father's image and whatnot.
Exactly, and so that essentially is why Michael does some of the stuff he does. It's that he wants to cut ties with Joseph in small ways until he goes all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, let's get away from, like, talking about characters and the story, and let's talk about, like, specific things I want to point out, like scenes and moments, which we did in the Bearman review.
Alrighty.
Okay, first of all, I like just simply the fact I like that the opening credits they used the live version of "Wanna Be Starting Something," which is from the Wembley concert in 1988.
Yep, and which is also the end of the film.
Exactly. It's a very good choice, I think, for the opening, because it's a great opening song on Thriller, And I love seeing Michael's production logo from the 80s on the big screen. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Something I noticed that they didn't include in the soundtrack or anywhere. There's a song called Big Boy. That's the song that they're singing at that first rehearsal scene.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that to be in the movie, and it was.
Well, there you go.
I think it's Giuliano singing as Michael, as opposed to using a recording of Michael. And if it is him singing, fantastic. Mirrors Michael's voice really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this feeling that throughout the film, it's a mix and blend that both actors who play Michael are singing and lip-syncing at different times.
Right.
So I just want to get that out there. This is the thing. The next song I want to talk about is Never Can Say Goodbye. That scene is when Suzanne DePass sees them watches them performing on stage, and that's when they get the offer to join Motown.
Yeah.
The thing is, what people have probably mentioned already, it's an inaccuracy, because the song didn't exist until 1970. The scene is 68, and the recording is from 1971. Now, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't totally bother me.
I know there's inaccuracies because it's a biopic. What do you expect? It's for entertainment.
And it's not as inaccurate as Bohemian Rhapsody. And even if it is, it doesn't stick out as much as Bohemian Rhapsody.
Essentially, the timeline is a lot more consistent and accurate compared to Bohemian Rhapsody for the sake of their entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, Never Can Say Goodbye, it's a great song, and it does... Yes, it's a later recording, so Michael's older, but I don't mind because it's a good performance still. The vocal performance is still good. Does it take you out of the movie a little bit? Maybe. For some people, it will take them out of it.
It didn't take me out of it because I did not know the history, so I was just enjoying the show.
That's fair, and frankly, I don't think a lot of people will... I don't think it'll take them out of the movie a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's like, if anything, it's more like, the diehard fans, they'll really notice this stuff more. While someone like me, who's more of a casual... It's gonna go like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool little fun scene.
And that's all that they need.
Exactly, yeah.
I did love the whole scene of them doing the recording session with Barry Gordy watching over it. And the little thing I noticed is how he told Michael to stop dancing. Because if you listen to actual recordings of Michael Jackson later on, probably Off the Wall and onward, actually even the Jackson's albums in the 70s, he is dancing. He moves. He when he records... The way he used to record his, the music, he'd have the music on full blast, and he'd sing and he would dance the whole time. He'd be moving, and so to see that acknowledged was interesting. And I liked that Barry told Joseph basically to sit the fuck down, man.
Mm-hmm.
I liked seeing that. It's a small thing, but someone standing up to Joe Jackson I was glad to see that, even if it was a small thing.
He's like, yeah, you're good number. Like, sit your ass down, sir.
Exactly, and I love that. And I love seeing Barry show Michael what everything in the studio does. Because he would do that.
And the weird thing is, I was actually about to get really invested in that part. Like, oh wait, this music production, I want to listen to this. And then Joe Jackson comes and is like, alright, time to go. Like, you son of a bitch! I was interested in learning music production right there. Come on!
Exactly.
Damn it, Joe Jackson, you blue-balled me with music production. I want to know more.
Precisely. I do have to say, I did like that little scene where he's talking with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because he's talking about llamas, and he's nerding out about llamas, and I'm sitting there like, I relate to this kind of thing so much in a way, because there are definitely things where growing up I was obsessed with a thing, and I would not stop talking about it. And yeah, so that was fun to see. That was cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough, yeah.
And now let's talk about the I'll Be There performance at that fair. And the young Michael has that little interaction with that one fan.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of something he would do, not exactly what he would do later, but it's the closest we got. When Michael would do She's Out of My Life, he would bring a fan up on stage. And they'd, of course they'd react like they'd be so in awe. And I think they captured that element well, even though, yeah, it was the...
I mean, look, if Michael Jackson brought any of us onto the stage, I think we all be in awe, regardless
of our gender, we'd all be like, holy mo.
It's like, oh shit, what do I do?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's like, at that point, I probably just do the Carlton and whatnot.
Exactly. After that scene, they transition to Michael as an adult, and now we're getting to him doing Off the Wall, his first adult solo album.
Mm-hmm.
And the one sole song we get to see him record at all is Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, which is the opening of that album. And it was a great choice to do because it was a great montage to show that early success.
Oh yeah.
And my favorite thing is that it ended with Michael. He's up early, and most of the family are coming out because I guess he dragged them out to see what was coming, and he's like, "It's a surprise," and then out comes Bubbles.
Yep, Bubbles of the Uncanny Valley.
I didn't mind that. I know why they did that. It's a lot easier to have a CG.
I know, but it just looked uncanny a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But there are worse. It certainly wasn't like Polar Express for some people.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst CG. There's worse in the film.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Believe me, there's one thing in CG that actually took me out of the film for a little bit.
Ooh, we'll get to that.
Oh, absolutely, because it's at the end of the film.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like Michael did know a great deal about animals. I mean, hell, he actually did. I actually know he did have a pet llama.
Louis the llama. Yes, and
I think he tried to do a recording of Freddie Mercury, but I think Freddie couldn't do it because the whole llama thing.
the llama just freaked him out a little, I guess.
Michael's bringing his pet llama into the studio every day, and I'm really not used to recording with a llama, and I've had enough and I want to get out.
The little montage they do while Michael's performing Ben with the on stage with his brothers, that was a cool little scene. Kind of fit the mood of what they were going for, because Michael's now trying to push his solo career further after basically being told that he's got to do this tour and he's got to do this. He's been told what to think.
I told you what to think. I told you.
Fuck you! You motherfucker! I will rain hellfire upon you!
It sets the stage for him to slowly gain independence, and then after that performance, we get to meet Michael's brand new lawyer, John Branca, played by Miles Teller.
Say that again?
But so Miles Teller as John Branca, he doesn't have a lot of screen time. But he's not bad with that screen time, I thought he was pretty good. Some Michael Jackson fans, a lot of Michael Jackson fans, don't like John Branca at all.
Huh.
And for me, I don't like every decision he's ever made, but I don't have any ill will towards him.
Fair enough.
The thing is, I thought he was going to have a good chunk of screen time. He really didn't. And people were getting all upset about any amount of screen time he had, and I'm just sitting there thinking, he's part of Michael's life. He wasn't the biggest part of it, clearly, since he's not in the movie that much. He's just a part of it. And I mentioned John Branca because after, of course, Michael says, tell my father that he's fired, and Joe gets a fax saying he's fired. A few minutes after, Michael went to a toy store to buy some toys for himself, and a kid and his mom recognized him. He signed a bunch of autographs. He gets home. He's got a brand new game of Twister, and his brothers don't want to play.
Oh yeah, go back to that, the toy store scene and whatnot. I like how he was chatting with the kid, about that Atari game Adventure. I don't know. It's like, I know it's like a short little thing, but it was just kind of nice to see. It's like
I agree. It's a nice thing. It's a nice interaction.
I don't know. I think it put a bit of a dopey smile on me and whatnot for that part. It was just kind of nice.
Me too.
Actually, no. Also, was thinking a little bit on that conversation with how he interacts with the children and whatnot. He constantly went to that toy store to get children in the hospital a lot of those toys and whatnot, which was actually really, really nice and whatnot.
He was a very charitable man in many ways, and the film does touch on that, even if only a little bit.
It's you don't see it too much, but you feel the impact and whatnot.
Exactly. And I was gonna say, so toy store, he signs autographs, gets home, has Twister, the brothers don't want to play, so he plays with Bubbles, and he goes to get some ice cream. He opens the freezer, gets out the ice cream, he closes the freezer, and right behind him is Joe Jackson. Just out of nowhere. And basically confronts Michael about the facts. And I have to say, that was a strange moment, because I kind of laughed a little just because it's like, what the hell? How did Joe get there so suddenly? After all that, finally we get to see Michael do work on the Thriller album, and he watches a news report of gang violence, and that inspires him to write Beat It, and that whole sequence when he's in that rehearsal space with all the gang members and showing off his moves and basically bringing people together with music and with dance. I liked seeing that scene because, again, it captured Michael's whole essence. Like a lot of the scenes do. It showed all the sides of Michael Jackson, basically.
Right. He's a guy who loved music.
Exactly. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, of course, is Mike Myers' cameo as Walter Yetnikoff. That was a fun appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unlike Bohemian Rhapsody, Mike Myers is playing a real person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And basically, the story of getting Billie Jean on MTV, that's essentially what happened. I don't know if Michael was in the room, but basically, yes, Walter Yetnikoff said, if you don't put Michael Jackson's Billie Jean on MTV, I'm pulling everybody. All the CBS artists are gone. So, it was good to see that. Do I wish we could have seen the making of Billie Jean? We'll get into that kind of stuff. But anyway, speaking of Billie Jean, we get to see a recreation of Motown 25, which is the crowning achievement of Michael's early, that was the moment, the moment that Michael Jackson went from Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5 to Michael Jackson, all caps. That was that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it captured that well, I think. And then after that, the whole Pepsi commercial thing, because that was part of the deal for the Victory Tour. And Michael, being pressured by his father to do the tour, he, of course, relents and does not only the tour, or at least he's going to do the tour initially, maybe, who knows. He does the commercial, though. And then they're on take 6 of the commercial, and he gets burned by the pyrotechnics. And
Yeah, the Pepsi incident.
yes, and they recreate that pretty well, I think, in terms of how the event happened.
Mm-hmm.
In that respect, I think they did a good job with that, and more importantly, how they handled the aftermath of the burns. From not just the pain, there's that one shot when he's being wheeled into the hospital, you kind of feel that disorientation he must have felt at that moment.
Honestly, watching that scene, my mind was yeah, if he died that day, society would have somehow collapsed.
It would have. And seeing that fear on his face, again, that's the thing, is that you could see the genuine terror in Michael's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing Joe basically say, when's he going to perform again? Is he ever going to be able to perform again?
It's dude, are you kidding me right now?
And you can tell the whole family's exacerbated by this. They're like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? And seeing Michael kind of, visit other people who are in the hospital and talking to them was a good thing. It was something he did too, by the way, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And then I liked seeing him saying, I'm going to do the tour, and the reason why. Because he saw the recovery from the accident as a second chance at life.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the tour. I kind of wish they had done, more with the tour. And we'll get to that whole sequence now. The Victory Tour. It's basically their Live Aid, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Where they have the intro where they walk down the stairs, but they don't do Wanna Be Starting Something. And they had filmed a performance of Heartbreak Hotel, but that got cut.
Damn.
And we'll talk about that a little later. But they do Human Nature, and the performance is fantastic. The one thing I will say I knew ahead of time, that was a performance from Wembley, 1988.
Huh.
Which doesn't bother me as much as, when Bohemian Rhapsody would do that in, Fat Bottom Girls. That song was a performance from 1979 in a scene that took place in, 1974. It bothered me with that movie because the song didn't exist yet. Whereas with Human Nature in this film, the song already existed and was in that set list. So it's not such a total mind freak,
Fair enough, yeah.
And more importantly, it was a great performance.
Absolutely agree. The performance was really good on that.
That might have been the best concert scene in the whole film.
Absolutely.
To continue on, Michael gets off stage with his brothers, and then they're doing Working Day and Night, and then Michael announces basically makes that big announcement that it's their last and final tour, basically saying to Joseph, without directly saying it, I'm done. Walks off stage, walks past Joe, his bodyguard tells him that it's over, and they transition right into Michael performing Bad. And then he performs the song Bad, the whole song.
Oh, well, before we go into that, I want to talk about, right before he started singing Bad at that Wembley Stadium thing. Right before that, I want to mention something.
Uh-huh.
That transition of how the camera zooms into the stage?
Uh-huh.
That's some genuine, awful-ass CGI. That took me out of it for a bit. Goddamn, that was some ugly-ass shit I saw. That was terrible looking. What the hell were they thinking with that CG? It looked terrible. It looked like like an early 2000s Iron Maiden music video. Like, goddamn, it was bad. Like, Lord Almighty.
Do you find it ironic that it was that the bad CGI was during the song "Bad"?
Really makes you wonder.
I don't. Okay, either I didn't notice it, and I'll notice it now that you mentioned it, but like I didn't feel it that way. But again, I might notice it now.
If I can't tell if it was the CG or just the whole, it's just the whole thing just looked bad.
It may not be. It may not be the effects. It may just simply be the shot isn't a good choice.
Like, it just didn't look good. Like, something just took me out of it.
But then the rest of the scene was fine.
I don't know. Some things like in the background just felt a little off to me. I don't know what it is, but that part could be me.
Otherwise, I thought the performance was good. It was a good way to end the film, and that is all the things I liked. There are things I disliked, and it won't be long. The only things I disliked is, like, first of all, the fact that there was no Heartbreak Hotel, which I know they shot. They cut it out of the movie. I don't know why.
We'll probably see a deleted scene of that at some point.
We'll probably see that, yeah. Diana Ross was a character in the film, but all her scenes got cut.
Damn.
I don't know why. I mean, there's a reason. It's like some legal reason, apparently, but that's just up in the air as what the legal reason could be. The big thing is that at times, I wish the film, honestly, the whole time I wish the film was longer. And not like crazy long, but like just like a half hour longer. Just so
I think the 2-hour runtime is perfect for what it needed to be.
Maybe. I'm not saying...
Then again, maybe because, I think, sometimes, at this point in my life, I think 2.5 hours is just kind of stretching out when it comes to films, but I feel like, like an hour and a half to 2-hour film, I think that's good enough for me and whatnot.
I only disagree if the film feels rushed. That's it. Like, I think the film should be as long as it needs to be. If the film can be longer and it works better that way, let it be a little longer. I'm not saying it has to be 5 hours or something. I'm just saying like a 2-hour, 15-minute movie and then like a few minutes of credits would be a better choice to me because it would give certain moments time to breathe, certain emotional beats, certain performances.
I think, to be fair, I think they got what goes to a lot of the emotional stuff. I think like they let that breathe pretty well for the time they had and whatnot.
Considering that, yes, I do think so. I'm just saying, I'm not saying the movie had to be a 6-hour epic. It just had to be. Again, maybe my opinion will change when I see the film again when it comes out on video, or if I decide to see it again. Okay, final thoughts. I'm just gonna summarize everything quickly. Basically, the film is great to me. I love the performances of the lead, like the main cast, and I love the music, obviously, and it managed to do the impossible. It humanized Michael Jackson. In
the year of our Lord 2026, that is impossible.
That is impossible, yes. Nick, I'm going to just give it a big thumbs up. What about you?
Alright, my final thoughts. I thought it was a good film. I liked the musical performances. The cast did a pretty good job and whatnot. It was enjoyable, Wasn't too long. If I felt like I needed to do what I needed to do, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was fun. It's a thumbs up for me and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good.
All right then. Thank you all for watching. That's enough. My throat hurts. Goodbye.
See you later, folks.